What's up guys, Austin here from Airsoft Station, bringing you another gun overview, and today we're going to be reviewing a brand new rifle. This is the AKG-KCR by KWA. I'm really excited to review this gun. It is brand new, right off the production line, and it's a really cool rifle. As you guys can see, I'm not in my normal location. I apologize if the audio is a little echoey. However, we are going to be doing a little bit of an accuracy test, a little bit of a range test here, so I needed, the largeness of our warehouse to be able to do those. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. As I'm looking at this rifle and as I'm holding this rifle in my hands, honestly what it seems to me is that some genius somewhere combined all of the best parts of the AK-47, all of the best parts of the Galil, combined them into one rifle, and then took some of the best furnishings from the M4 platform and combined them into pretty much what makes the perfect rifle. It is thin, it is streamlined, however it's incredibly effective. It's nice to hold in your hands, and it has some of the features which is needed for this, newer, modern world that we're going into. Let me cover some of the key features which really sort of set this apart from your standard AK-47. So probably the most obvious and notable difference is going to be that this AK does have the standard AK-47 receivers. However, it does have an M4 style buffer tube and stock. That kind of sets it aside and it gives it sort of an advantage from the normal solid stock AK because it is 6-position adjustable. Another great feature which KWA added to this gun is an M249 style grip. They are a little bit thinner and wider lengthwise of the gun, so it gives you a little bit more comfort while holding onto it, a little more control of the gun while it's firing, as well as just overall comfort when you're holding this gun all day. Another great feature about this gun, which honestly I believe probably is the one that excites me the most, is actually the fire selector lever. Now, it does have your standard AK fire selector lever, safe, full auto, semi, the lever that we're all used to, and then, going back up. However, I'm going to work a little bit of magic here. You can select the fire using your thumb, similar to that of the Galil. It actually has a Galil style fire selector switch over here on your thumb. It sits exactly where the selector switch would be on an M4 or an M16, which is what I personally run with, so it's a very comfortable transition. So instead of having to switch between full auto by taking your hand off the guard to reach up there, most people's fingers aren't long enough to reach that, so they have to actually take their hand off of the trigger, allowing a little bit more time to actually get shot. You can just swap back and forth very quickly. It's an extremely smooth transition, and it's something that's going to be very comfortable for you if you're coming from an M4 and M16 style platform. Next, we move to the upper receiver. This has a built-in top rail. That's an extremely nice feature because you don't have to worry about getting a mounting bracket or anything like that. Just ready out of the box, you can slap an optic on this. One thing I will note though is that a lot of people don't like that because these top receivers can be a little bit wobbly. Honestly, when it comes to airsoft, the slight minute wobble that's in the top lever is probably not going to knock off your zero enough. You're not shooting anything over, probably a couple hundred feet using this rifle, so I don't believe that you would need to. However, if you are so inclined or you want to be more realistic with your rifle, it does also have just the standard AK mounting bracket on the side. So just like a standard AK, you can have your top rail come up above this receiver, and then it's going to be rock solid because that's directly to the receiver of the gun. But it's a note that definitely needs to be made to you guys, especially being that this is airsoft and you're not going to be shooting anything more than a couple hundred feet. It doesn't wobble enough. You could just right out of the box throw an optic on this and be ready to go. If you do like the iron sights, however, the iron sights have been changed from the standard AK sights, and honestly that's a great feature in my mind. I was never a fan of the old-fashioned AK sights. I love these. In the back you have a full metal, fully windage adjustable rear sight or peep sight, and in the front it honestly resembles that of an M14 style front sight. From there we're going to move to the magazine. The magazine is a green gas mag which holds 40 rounds. Something to note about these magazines are they are compatible with all of the AKG series weapons by KWA, which means that say you own the AK-74M by KWA, your mags are going to be interchangeable. That's a great feature to have because you know that there's a wide variety of weapons which can take these magazines, which means you're probably not going to be having issues finding them in stock places because they're a proprietary magazine or something like that. These magazines are going to be pretty versatile coming in the future, so that's a great feature to have because you always need mags. When looking at the mag specifically, it looks very nice. It has this texturized ribbing up front, which gives it a nice sleek look to it. It feels very solid in your hands. It's got a nice weight to it. You can tell that this magazine is put together very, very solid. It does come with its own speed loader, which is a great feature. You don't have to worry about hand loading this or worrying about what speed loaders are compatible with it because right in the box it comes with its own. It slips right over the lip up on the top of the magazine, and then it just has a jamming rod. You can jam all 40 rounds down in one fell swoop and you are ready to go. The magazine does load back into the gun just like your standard AK magazine, and that connection between the mag and the gun feels very, very solid. One of the reasons I actually prefer M4s over AKs is because I feel like the connection in so many AKs between the mag and the gun is kind of sloppy almost. You can see right here that this gun definitely puts that theory to shame in my mind. It's a very solid connection. It is smooth, and that lip on the gun, the lip on the magazine, it's got a lot of metal to it. You're not going to have to worry about that breaking off or anything. It's a very, very solid connection. Moving to the rails, it is a really customized look. I've honestly never really seen this before. It does remind me of a Galil. It also reminds me of an AK. Like I said, it's very unique. It's a very unique look. For someone who's looking for a unique gun, this is a definite route to go. This gun's awesome. And then that inner barrel, which is housed in the rails, it actually houses a 460 millimeter inner barrel. That's going to be outstanding for range and accuracy and things like that. One last thing that I want to note on the externals about this gun is that the charging handle is sweet. It is a huge chunk of metal sliding a very, very long ways. But honestly, it feels very nice in your hands. Every time you shoot it, like I said, it's a heavy piece of metal blowing back for a long ways. You definitely can feel it pushing into your shoulder. It feels very nice every time you fire it. One thing to note about the charging handle is when it's on safe, you can't pull it back. Another added safety feature. And then when you flip it to either full auto or semi, you pull it back and it exposes the chamber of the gun, and it also exposes that Type 4 hop-up system installed directly from KWA. That is another great feature on this gun. Those Type 4s are known for not changing over time and just really kind of maximizing the range and accuracy that you get out of your rifle. Now, the moment that you're all waiting for, let's go shoot it. Alright, now as I'm firing this gun, I want you to pay attention to these chrono results. You can see very clearly that yes, the FPS is varying, the FPS varies in every gun. However, unlike most gas guns, your FPS is not consistently dropping. You can see that the average of the FPS is staying very, very, very consistent. The rate of fire on this gun is also extremely impressive. KWA advertises it to be 14 plus rounds a second. Honestly, I believe them. I did just fill this magazine up less than 20 seconds ago. I didn't give the gas any time to expand in there, so it probably is firing a little bit lower than it would, say, even if you let it sit for 60 seconds or more. So normally this is where I would end my reviews for you guys. I've explained it externally, explained it somewhat internally, did the chrono reading for you guys. Usually that's as far as I go. However, I have sort of fell in love with this gun, and honestly I did a test for my own pleasing, and I thought I would share the results with you guys because they absolutely blew me away. As you guys know, here in Minnesota, 6 months out of the year, gas guns don't really work just because they're so cold. Boyle's Law, as temperature goes down, pressure goes down. As temperature increases, pressure increases. That's definitely true here. So what I actually ended up doing is I took the magazine and I filled it up with all 40 rounds, and I filled it up with gas, and I went and threw it on our dock bay, and I left it there for about 20 minutes. Like I said, this test was actually for my own pleasing, so you don't have to worry about me exaggerating the minutes here. I was doing this test for myself. I let the gas cool off in there. I took the gun out there and I tried to shoot the gun just to see if it would even cycle. And I was amazed that it even cycled because the temperature, it's actually about 8 degrees today with a wind chill of -13. So it's really freaking cold today, guys. I wasn't expecting the gun to cycle. And as you can see here, it actually cycled every single round on full auto. That is impressive because you know how much gas guns eat up the gas when it's on full auto. Now, I'm gonna cut the video here. As you can see, we're now inside. That's not me doing some sneaky editing trick. That was just because I was in a t-shirt. It's really cold outside, so I brought it in. I checked it out. As you can see, every round was expelled, and I was curious. I'm not going to fill it up with gas here. I'm just going to fill it up with ammo to see how much gas is actually left in the magazine. And as you can see, we actually got 2 magazines off of this gun. So this is probably the most efficient magazine that I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, I genuinely believe that this is the most efficient gas usage that I've ever seen in my life. And the LM4s from KWA are also extremely impressive in their efficiency, but honestly, I mean, 2 magazines in 8-degree weather, that's unheard of. This gun is amazing. For those of you who live in the South and don't have to worry about cold weather, you probably skipped past the video already, but for those of you who are my northern airsoft players, you know our pain, and seriously, that's an amazing gun right there. 2 magazines off of, you know, a single fill of green gas. Absolutely unbelievable when we're, you know, talking about temperatures that low. So seriously, keep this gun in mind, guys. It is an amazing gun. I've fallen in love with it myself. I understand that it's a little higher end of a gun, and with that comes a little higher of a price, but seriously, there is so much bang for your buck in this gun. When you fire it, it feels amazing. It's absolutely an amazing gun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. I can see myself owning one in the very near future. So until the next one, guys, have a good one.